Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Friday, January 29th. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to their Friday so far, and that you all have a wonderful weekend ahead. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the third stimulus check. I'll also be discussing the $2,000 direct payments, progressive Democrats joining together for monthly checks, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so more than 50 Democrats in the House joined together in writing a letter to President Joe Biden urging him to take the direct payments up a notch. No, not from $1,400 to $2,000 like some people are asking for, but instead to make them recurring payments. In the letter, signed by Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and co-signed by 55 others, she states, "It is clear that during this unprecedented time in our nation's history that we must take additional unprecedented action. We kindly request that your incoming administration consider including support for recurring cash payments in your future economic plans. Recurring payments would provide a long-term lifeline to struggling Americans for the duration of this deadly pandemic." Later on in the letter, she says, "Any relief package must include recurring cash payments that continue until the economy recovers with equal payments to adults and dependents. Prioritize those who need it the most and will spend it the quickest. Go to all immigrant workers, refugees, and their families, include older dependents such as disabled and elderly dependents, and those over the age of 16 still claimed as dependents. Add improved administrative outreach and communication at the state and local level to ensure families are aware of payments, and finally, ensure the IRS makes automatic payments available to all eligible households with better outreach to individuals left behind in previous rounds, including the underbanked and unbanked through preloaded EBT cards, and those who had delayed or missing payments through improved casework assistance." So here we have another group of lawmakers urging the president and Congress to approve monthly relief payments. Now, it is being noted that another round of $2,000 direct payments would cost around $464 billion, so 6 months of payments at that level would cost over $2.7 trillion. Could we afford it? Yes. Would it raise our national debt? Certainly. And that's exactly why we won't be seeing more moderate Democrats, and especially Republicans, getting on board with this plan. Of course, it is interesting to note that Vice President Kamala Harris was once one of those lawmakers urging the Trump administration and other lawmakers to pass recurring $2,000 direct payments. Now that she's vice president, you would think that she would be able to continue using her platform to push for those payments if she thought it was realistic and something we really needed. However, we haven't really heard much, so we can pretty much safely assume she knows this plan is unrealistic and therefore was only saying we should do it before for political reasons. In other stimulus news, since it looks like the next round of direct payments may be delayed until March or April, the two newly elected Democrat senators from Georgia, Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, are hoping to speed things up just a little bit. During a private call, the two senators pressed Senate Democrats and top White House advisors to act quickly. This is because, if you remember, a big part of their campaign in Georgia was based around the next round of direct payments. If we win, you will receive $2,000 immediately. Instead, it's looking like, if we win, you may receive $1,400 3 or 4 months after the election. Of course, there's not much that can really be done, considering that Democrats are moving forward with reconciliation, which tends to be a lengthy process. Best case scenario, it looks like they would be able to pass the bill by the middle of March, which means that people would receive the direct payments a week or so after that. However, despite that, Ossoff and Warnock still argue that faster action on the checks need to take place. Originally, there was talks of passing a bipartisan bill more quickly that would include aid for vaccine distribution in addition to a third round of relief payments. However, the Biden administration came out recently saying they had no interest in splitting up legislation, and even though they would welcome Republican support, they want to keep it all in one package. So, since it looks like Democrats are going all in on this package alone, many Republicans are left upset, knowing they have no say at all. Other Republicans, on the other hand, believe that Democrats may actually end up regretting this decision. This is why. Because in the Democratic Party, even though they may express unity on certain issues, they still have completely different viewpoints on others, which could cause some conflict. In the Democratic Party, we see some of them politicking as moderates, with others as so-called progressives. Because of this, Republicans believe that Democrats may end up fighting over what should be in the bill, considering progressives are going to be in favor of more spending, with moderates pulling back just a little bit. If this ends up causing conflict within, it may be Republicans who are able to swoop in, having the final say. Also, considering they'll need all 50 Democrats to approve the bill, if no Republicans do, they really don't have any room for error. Again, they may all be Democrats, but that doesn't necessarily mean they believe the same thing should be in the bill with the same amounts. For example, we already know Democrats such as Joe Manchin and Mark Warner are in favor of targeting the direct payments to those who really need it the most. So, with that said, it should be very interesting to see how all of this unfolds. In the meantime, all we can continue to do is hang in there, stay strong, and hope for the best. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video, which is from Curtis. Curtis says, how soon do you think we'll be getting the next stimulus check? And do you think this will be the last one? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Curtis. And at this point, I'd say it'll be around late March or early April. Since it looks like Democrats will be moving forward with reconciliation, best case scenario, it looks like they'll be able to have a bill passed by the middle of March. After the bill passes, it should take the IRS around 1 week to begin sending out the third round of checks. So, let's say, for example, the bill is signed into law on March 12th. Since that's a Friday, it's possible relief payments could begin going out the following Monday or Tuesday. Again though, as we all know from the last round, these things can always drag out, so no deadline is ever completely set in stone. Okay, moving along to the next comment of today's video, which is from Lady. Lady says, hi Josh, I still have not received my stimulus payment, although my IRS transcript said it was refunded to my bank account on January 4th. I'm so over this. It is so unfair that all Americans needed the relief. However, just a few got it. How is that fair? Now we have to wait even longer because there is a delay in filing tax returns this year. I think this issue was swept under the rug and it needs way more attention than they are giving it. It's our money and we need it now. Anyways, with the next stimulus, would children under the age of 17 be receiving anything extra? Do you think the IRS will make such a lousy mistake like this again when processing the third stimulus payment? Okay, thank you so much for your questions, and first off, I'm incredibly sorry that you never end up receiving your second direct payment. In this case, it sounds like you may have either potentially changed bank accounts since you received your first relief payment, or for whatever reason, your bank rejected the payment and sent it back to the IRS. In the first round, if that happened, the IRS would reprocess your payment and then send you a check in the mail instead. This time around, as you mentioned, they are forcing people to claim these $600 as a credit on their tax returns, which is pretty unfair, especially considering the IRS isn't even going to begin processing them until February 12th. As far as the next stimulus goes, in Joe Biden's plans, he would have $1,400 going to dependents under the age of 17 and $2,000 going to dependents over the age of 17. And as far as the IRS making lousy mistakes, as you put it, honestly, I wouldn't be all that surprised. For some people, it took several months to receive their first stimulus payment. For others, they never received it at all. The second one wasn't much better, so it's hard seeing the third one going smooth without any hiccups, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, moving along to the next comment of today's video, which is from Andrew. Andrew says, how much would unemployment come to? Alright, thank you so much for your comment, Andrew, and per Joe Biden's plans, he would have the unemployment benefits extended through the end of September at $400 per week. Now, some lawmakers, such as Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, suggest that number be even higher at $600 per week, so it's always possible they end up raising it. On the other hand, we may see Republicans argue that it should stay the same at $300 per week, so there's also a slim chance that it's lowered. Since the bill hasn't been officially written or passed yet, I can't say for sure, but I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated one way or another. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull, with both of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, or 1 free stock from Robinhood, just for signing up and linking your bank account, please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means that you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of their referral links, such as Nike, for $20, which would be right around $22 after tax, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.